All right. And as I said, don't panic. We're getting to the Lions. But this is the beauty of the Odyssey.com rewind thing as well, which is rest of the day I can just tell you, hey, we hit this. You got to balance. And the Harbaugh story is a big deal. So a couple segments on it. Sounds like it's a done deal. He's in L.A. for a second time, brought the wife. They've named staffing. That's just a direction we haven't seen before. So getting your reaction on it. You want to go to the people? Let's do that. We'll go to D. 97.1. What's up, D?
Man, my brothers, man, what's going on, fellas?
What's happening, D?
Where you been? You cheating on us? You're parlaying around town.
Man.
Where you been?
Oh, man, just basking in this Wolverine glory, man. I've been all over the country, man.
I was about to say, he doing the Wolverine World Tour.
That's right.
No doubt,
What's
man.
going on?
But look, fellas, here's the deal. If I begin to crap the bed at my job, 9 times out of 10, fellas, I'm going to get fired. Ward Manuel had a chance to fire Harbaugh, and he didn't. It became personal when he cut the man's pay. I never heard of that. At that particular point, Harbaugh in his head was gone. Only thing that happened against Ward Manuel, man, he messed around and won the title. So now you can't come back now and say, oh, Jim, I love you. We want to keep you. Here's this deal. Nah, man. You cut the man's pay. Once you cut the man's pay, that was it. It was a wrap. He didn't think Harbaugh was going to win the national championship, and he did. So now Harbaugh is throwing it up in his face. So Ward, the only thing he can do, it's his fault. The only thing he can do is keep Sharon Moore. That way you keep your offensive line coach as well, because that's the staple of our team.
Right.
You get Rick Mentor, to take over for his son, and you keep Clinkscale, and we'll be able to, add the other pieces as we can, but you pretty much keep the core together when all the other guys leave. But this is definitely Ward Manuel's fault, man. 100%.
Rico,
he blew it.
you go.
See,
Rico, go ahead.
I don't think he blew it, because at the time, Jim, it was either take the pay cut, Jim, or I got to fire you. So he didn't want to be the guy that fired Jim, but Jim, this was pre going to the college football playoffs 3 straight years in a row, D. This was Jim.
I feel you.
You weren't beating your rivals. You weren't beating Ohio State, let alone you were even with Michigan State. That's the Jim that took the pay cut.
But see, Reek, check this out. Everybody at that time wanted Harbaugh fired, and so he should have did the business and
just
fired
fired
the man.
him. Okay.
Once you cut somebody's pay, it became personal, because you're telling me, hey, I really don't want you, but I'm kind of scared to fire you because I might get some backlash. Well, now you're really going to get some backlash, because now you're going to lose our national championship head coach. So, Ward, if he don't keep Moore and he lose Harbaugh, if I'm Ono, Ward is on the unemployment line, brother. God bless you guys, man. Good to hear from you.
All right,
Thanks, good hearing from you, buddy. Go ahead, Rico.
I think Ward did everything that he could right now. Harbaugh didn't want to be there. Ward kept this thing together for the kids for about 3-4 years. And it just finally, it ran its course. The kids graduated high school, and they looked at each other at graduation and said, you know what, we don't need to be together anymore.
Listen, all I'll say is this. I'll leave the rest to you and D. Ward Manuel should not be employed because his athletic department is a complete and utter toxic disaster. You don't believe me? Pull up the headlines of the last 3-4 years.
Hold on. Let me do this for the people in the back.
No, I mean,
that's why I said I didn't want to have to defend Ward.
No,
but
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think he's a convenient fall guy. Right. Believe me.
Just go watch a basketball game, Ward. Your part-time player's not playing tonight.
Okay, see, staying away from it. Let's go to Michael, 97.1. Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mike and Rico. Listen, I'm a 48-year-old Michigan fan. So I remember the dark days of Rich Rod, and I remember the dark days of the other guy who just slipped my name.
Brady Hoke.
Brady Hoke. Okay, so check this out. Jim Harbaugh dumped on Michigan. Remember when he got the Stanford job? And he said, unlike at Michigan, I'm going to let my kids take real classes. So I'm glad Jim came home. I'm glad he was allowed to stay long enough to get a national championship. Thank you, Jim. Now go. It's in my opinion that had they got to the national championship game last year, he was already gone. He was shocked that he lost to TCU. This is just my humble opinion. So
Sure.
we got Sharon Moore there, so we should keep the recruits. And this is not like we're turning it over, because I was an arrogant Michigan fan, thought you could add anybody and we could still win. But Sharon Moore is competent. The program is in good hands. Thanks, Jim. Goodbye.
All right. Seems reasonable to me. I mean, listen, like I said, it ain't my fight. If he stayed, it gives me a target for my vitriol, which is good for the rivalry and good for radio. If he leaves, I can't sit here. I've said this to Wolverine friends I have. I wouldn't be in a panic. I think you've had elite coordinators, and I think you've played a patsy schedule. And you cheated your balls off for 3 years, but you were fine. I would be more concerned, like I told you when the suspensions came down. If Harbaugh got to coach, but it was Sharon and Minter who were suspended, that would have bothered me. You know what didn't? Him being suspended. Mm-hmm. So,
because he would have had to actually do work if those two were gone.
Right, not my fight. Let's go to Mike, 97.1. Mikey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. But, I'm not mad or happy he's leaving. I do think that Jim Harbaugh is probably the best coach Michigan's ever had, though. But with the cheating, as a Michigan fan, I don't really care. I'm happy they won the championship, like you guys always say. But I think Rico's right. The kids are going to stay. And Michigan they're going to take a step back, but their defense is actually going to be pretty good next year. It's the offense that's got a lot of holes. Do you think Valenti or Mike Hart will be the offensive coordinator when Moore takes the head coaching spot? That's a question I have for you guys looking forward. Or do you think they'll go outside and try to find an offensive coordinator to take Moore's spot?
No, Mike, I think that a lot of it, especially because it's going to be so late in the game, you're probably going to either see Bellamy or Mike Hart as your OC. Probably I'm leaning more towards Mike Hart. And then if it doesn't work out, that's when you'll see some changes for the season after. But right now, there's really nobody there unless you're going to get somebody who wants to leave the NFL and come back to college, which I highly doubt.
And I'm happy. And if Ford Manuel wanted to get on good graces, he would fire that bum Juwan Howard.
Listen. Here's the deal. I have never understood how Ward Manuel has a job. Maybe he just knows where all the bodies are buried. Yeah. Because he runs. I mean, Mike, listen. I know you're a true blue guy. I'm not being disrespectful. Your football program wins, but it's shrouded in you know what. Basketball program's a disaster with all kinds of problems. The Mel Pearson scandal, the mystery volleyball coach, all the things that have gone on in the athletic department, those are on Ward's desk. I really don't know how Ward is still there. It's remarkable.
I don't either. But he lives, and yeah. But you know what? It's distraction. Everybody saw the title. Everybody felt good about the title. And that's all people talked about. Yeah.
Right. And that's okay. But, I laugh how this is what gets Ward fired. Wait a minute. You had the team captain wrap your wife's car around a telephone pole. What? You had a scandal in your hockey program. You signed a volleyball coach to a 5-year extension, got rid of him 30 days afterwards with no termination letter, and no one knew why. You got your football program in dual NCAA investigations, and your basketball program, I mean, you got a coach hitting people, threatening to kill people. I mean, what? Part-time coach? No, I'm just kidding. Phil Martelli's going to take the second half because it's sunny outside. Right. What are we doing here? Come on now. But this is what gets you fired? A man who didn't want to be there anymore, not being there anymore? Mm-hmm. They put 10 at 125 in front of him. Santa Ono was – man, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I mean Santa Ono, he was ready to fly around the world and back for Jim, the ultimate fanboy. Mm-hmm. Who do you think Ward's boss is? Santa Ono. Mm-hmm. So I just laugh at that one angle. That's all. All right. A little football today. I got some picks for you, and we got tons of Lions to do where Rico, David, is going to sabotage the show at 3. Did he inform you of that?
No, he did not.
No, he whispered lovingly in my ear and said, "You've stumbled on something. I'm changing the 3 o'clock topic." I go, okay. as they say in Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Bet. So we'll get to it, and we'll keep you up to date. If the Harbaugh thing breaks officially, of course we're going to bring it up. But Lions are going to be primo today, so we'll get to it. 97.1.